Hi, I'm Nicholas Wong. So now I will be showing the web API development project. The API that I chosen is the MirDB. So the MirDB is using to develop in the entire project. In this project, we have a front end and back end. So for the front end, we are using React to develop. For back end, we are using the Express to develop the back end. So now on my screen, I'll be sharing you the MirDB API website. You can see from my screen, here is the MailDB API, and this is an open source API which have a wide range of mail related data, including category, recipe, ingredient, and image. Support a search filtering and random mail retrieval. So as you can see from here, the have a search bar. The user can search for their meal, which is I indicate burger. So I search the burger, so we will come out the lamb dazuki burger. So moving on to the my front end project, which is using React to develop. Now I'll show you the code first. So in the Visual Studio, we need to key in the npm start to run the front end system at the terminal side. So I just key in just now, so the thing will pop up like that, and then the website will be look like that. So this is the website of the front end. It's called Mealtime. So this website are retrieved from an API, which is called Axios. The Axios is using the Axios library to create an instance of an HTTP client that can be used to send requests to the MailDB API. Now I will show you the Axios code. So this code for just now I mentioned is a base URL. This line is to retrieve the MailDB API code from the Mail API website. Now I will do the demonstration of the front end. So my front end has a category, which has several of the category. And when the user click into the beef, for example, click into the beef category, it will display what is the beef, the explanation, brief explanation, and display all the meal that which under the beef category. So it has several meals. So go back to the main page. So when the user search the burger, search on the click on the search bar, I will search on burger, for example. I search for burger. Then it will come out the lamb dazuki burger. So when the user search for a meal that does not include inside the website, for example ABC, it will shows that no any food found. Now I will go back to the home page and I will move on to the source code of the home page. So for the homepage source code, from line number 9 until line number 18, this is the homepage source code that the component renders the main content of the homepage, include a list of meal and the category at the line 10. The component utilizes a use meal context, which is this thing, use meal context, to hook access the necessary data and loading stakes from the meal context. So from this use meal context is using it to hook to call this one meal context.js file, which have all the information inside here, is to call the meal to the home page. So moving on to the category page, I'll show you the code. So for the category page, the code is from line number 8 to line number 36. So this code is display a specific category of meals that utilize the use param and use effect hooks from React router, and the use meal context is just now one. Also hook to access the necessary data and manage states related to meal and category. So this page also use the use meal context. It is just now one, also the same. So moving on to the mere detail page. So mere detail page is the source code is here, which utilize the use param in line number 11, use param, and then use effect in the line 14, hooks to retrieve the mere ID. So it retrieve the mere ID, and then from the URL parameter and fetch the mere details. So this code is to call the mere ID, which is to the mere detail page, which is here is mere detail page. So when the user click on beef and then beef and mustard pie, so here is the mere detail page which shows the category, the sauce, the tag, ingredient, measures, and instruction to cook. So moving back to the home page, now I will show you the slide bar. This is slide navigation bar, which also display all the category that have inside the meal. So moving on to the source code of the sidebar. So the sidebar source code is in the component sidebar.js. So from line number 8 to line number 33, so this line is the sidebar source code, which from line number 21 to 24 is to call the category to the slide navigation bar. So I'll explain about the action file, the mere action.javascript file. So this code from here, line number 17 to line number 57 is to display all the codes that you have inside the mere action.js. So the start fetch category, which this one, is fetch the mere category and dispatch corresponding action based on the API response. Similar to this one, fetch single mere also is to fetch the details of a single mere, and the starts fetch mere by category is fetch the mere by the specific category. The last one is a search. The starts fetch mere by search. This one is to fetch the mere based on the search term. So in the fall of the function, each function have dispatch action to indicate the start of an API call and then send a GET request using yours. If the request is successful, it dispatches a successful action with the retrievals and data. If there is an error, it dispatches an error action with the error message. So that's all for my front end. So now I am moving on to the back end side. So for the backend side, it's use the express.js file to run the application. So after I run without debugging at the run here, it will show that server start on port 3000 and it's connected to the database. The MongoDB also connected. Now I'll demo to you how does the backend look like. So this is the backend look like. And then the user can add the meals, delete the meals, and display all the meals. So these three of the component are retrieved from the MongoDB RTS database. So not from the API, the MereDB API. Moving back to the source code. So I'll show you the connect.js file. This file is to connect to the MongoDB RTS database. So at the line number 4 here is MongoDB, this one, this line. This is the connection strings of my database. So it will connect to my database with the integration of this line. And then the API key also required in the backend. So the backend API key for the MirDB I put inside here, which is the express.js file line number 9. So it's a one API key. And then I'll show you my MongoDB RTS account. So this is my MongoDB RTS account. Wait, let me refresh for a while. Oh, I'm using this web API, so you create the mir. So this is the API. After the user integrate all the add mir, delete mir, and display all mir, it will retrieve from here. Now let me do one demonstration on this. So I add one mir first. The mir ID will be 1. The name will be chicken burger. The category will be chicken. So I add the mir. After adding the mir, right, will display a message saying mir add successfully and saved to the database. So I go to the MongoDB database and refresh the thing. And it will show the mir I added just now with the ID of 1. Name is a chicken burger and the category is under chicken. So I go back to the add mir and then go back the button. We'll go back to the thing, and then now I will add another. I will display the mir first. Display all mir. So I press the display all mir. It will retrieve from the MongoDB database. The just now I mentioned the ID is 1, chicken burger, and a chicken. So I go back to. So now I will delete the mir by entering the name is a chicken burger, and then I click on the delete mir button. It will say chicken burger deleted. Then now I move to the database and refresh it. As you can see from here, the chicken burger is deleted. So go back to the mir and then go back. Now I'm moving back to the source code. So from the line in the express file, from the line number 180 to 190, this one is to get the mir, is to display all the mir from the MongoDB database. And then when it has error, it will display an error occur when fetching the mir. So for the post mir is to adding the mir part, right? Is from 192.9 until the 227. So this line is to add the mir, require the mir ID, mir name, and the mir category. And then it will store to the database for the code 202 until 214. For the delete mir code is from 229 until 245 line, and then it will require the title to delete the mir. When the user enter title, then we prompt a message say the title is deleted, and then user can press the go back button to go back. So that's all for my web API development demonstration. Thank you.
Hi, good day. My name is Joeshua, and today I'll be presenting on my web API development on News API. As you can see, this is the News API organization where we will be pulling our news articles in terms of blogs and sources directly from this News API key. It's trusted over 500,000 developers and it has over 80,000 worldwide sources. News API is a simple and easy to use REST API that returns JSON search results. Our project is basically in terms of two ends, which is the front end and the back end. So these are the two components of the project we'll be focusing. The front end creates the website a simple minimalistic type of website that showcase the news articles that will be pulling directly from the news API. The back end is to store specific search result of news article and to delete specific articles that is stored into a MongoDB. Okay, so we'll be going step by step, which is our first one, be getting an API key. I've already registered my account and got an API key. And as you see at the below here is the usage of the API key throughout the project. So we have up to these dates and everything. Now let me go back to this. The news API has a documentation which is very useful. It allows developers to determine what is the parameters and the authorization to use for their API websites and third-party websites. For example, this is the authentication. We have the authorization of HTTP header, which is my API key. And if we go to the end, we have the request parameters, which is very useful in terms of determining what type of articles to pull from this news API. Like, for example, we have the response object. It shows the author's name and the string, title and the string, description and the string, and URL to image. Now, this is the Visual Studio Code in terms of the front end and the back end that has been generated and created. I'll be demonstrating my Visual Studio in terms of the front end first. So as you can see, in order to save time, I've already started the npm start and it's already compiled successfully and it can now be viewed in the browser. So this is the front end. Let me bring myself down a bit. This is the front end of the news API that is generated and created by me by the front end. This is the terms of the science, in terms of technology, in terms of the general. So we have like these categories up here in terms of switching between businesses or sciences, for example. And more importantly, we have this toggle feature called light and day to allow users not to strain their eyes while reading articles from the news API. So we even have the sports one over here. So this is like I said, it's a simple layout of HTML and CSS just to display the articles using the API key. Now coming back to this, to Visual Studio. Okay. So we have the import from React in terms of the nav bar, the use states, and the loading bar and everything. This is the one using the function app. Our API key is here. And then this is the toggle mode that is used. And then at the below here is the routes that we have for the news hub, business, entertainment, health, and the API key as well. This is the codes that is used. And if you go under our news section, as you can see, it's been importing from React. The spinner we have is like if the articles is loading in, it gives a spinner effect. And then we have the function news section, which is the articles and set articles and use state. The use state hook allows for stateful behavior for functional components. Also, we have the capitalized first letter of each articles. We have also the update news in terms of pulling the latest updated news articles from the news API organization using the API key that we have. And we also have the fetch more data in terms of pulling more data into the news articles and displaying into the pages that is set by set pages +1. And then we have the use effect as well. And then we have the below codes in terms of the HTML layout. This as well is another HTML layout with displaying the functions of the news, title, description, image URL. And this is the nav bar. We have the function nav bar showing the state active in terms of the show menu. And we have the navigation bars in terms of help, general science, and data. And lastly, this is the spinner effect. Now I'll go to the Express, which is our backend using the Axios and Express. We be running in terms of without debugging, which I've already done. It runs on server 3000 connected to database. As you can see, this is our localhost 3000 that has been run. This is our backend function. It allows us to search for specific news, delete news, and fetch all news. Search specific news is pulling directly from news API key. It will store the articles into a MongoDB, and in the MongoDB, we can fetch all information stored in our MongoDB, and we can delete specific articles from our MongoDB. So for example, let's say we are looking in terms of education. Okay. We have a filter function in terms of the search result. Any title, title that has education, it will filter accordingly. For example, it has final Ohio education budget, and you can see record is saved, saving our one directly into MongoDB. And if you want to show more results, it shows all related news article in terms of education. Okay, now coming back again to the one, we have the fetch all news. This is pulling directly from our MongoDB. For example, we have the London caught up, we have the final education, which was done previously, and then we have again the final OIU education. So let's say we want to search for a different one. Let's say we are searching for Pepsi. Pepsi is using a different language in terms of the articles that is pulled. So we have it saved. Let's say we try another one, which is the school. It's also pulling from the Japanese emphasis students comparison of AI in news guidelines, and you can see record is saved. Then we want to go back again to the fetch all news. As you can see, earlier was the education Ohio. Now we have the Pepsi one earlier, and then we have the Japanese emphasis student comprehension. And if we want to go to our MongoDB, this is our MongoDB web API development. We want to browse collections. Go down to news. As you can see, this is the one, the last one, Japanese emphasis on guidelines and things. So we are going to delete this particular news article. Okay. And it has 1 out of 7. So we will go back again to this one and we paste it here. Delete the news. We receive an alert box saying that this one has been successfully deleted. Okay, it comes back here. And if you go back again and we refresh our MongoDB, as you can see, now it's 1 out of 6. And if you go to the bottom, the last one was Pepsi. So this is our backend in terms of the searching, storing the news article into the MongoDB and deleting a specific news and fetching all information with inside our MongoDB. The codes for Express is basically this. We have the Axios, we have the body parser, allow server to handle requests with JSON and URL encoded data. We have the search results, which is store the search results and flag to track if show more result button is clicked. We have the vendor initial form. This shows this is the HTML layout we have done. Let me scroll at the bottom. And you will put it the output initial form with title, input, and submit button. The handle form submission is basically our search results news in terms of this news API and the encoded public API. We also have the extract all news details from the response. And also we have the filter articles based on the title, which I mentioned earlier. Search results, the title in terms of lowercase and uppercase. We have the delete news. This is the delete news function, deleting at one time, the constant functions and everything. And then we have to show more results, which is this. And then we have the vendor search results, all this particular one, which is the author, title, description, and URL. And fetch all news is this. And vendor all news of this one. And basically that is all on my presentation. We also have this program. It's a simple program to pull the API. But other than that, this is my presentation of the web development on News API. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ranveer Singh Balleh, and now I will demonstrate my project for the Web API project. So for my project, I'm using the OMDB API, which is the open movie database that stores movies and TV shows. Okay, I've gotten my API key from here, which is the OMDB official website. So let's go ahead and talk about the front end. The front end is deployed using Netlify cloud-based hosting. So this is the link to the front end. This is the front end. So let's go ahead and search a movie. Avengers. So in the left box here will show the list of movie which relates to the movie for the search movie title here. Okay. So here it shows the details of the movie. For example, the release, the runtime, the genre, and so on. Okay, we can rate the movie here. Okay, let's rate, give it an 8 and add to list. So once we add to list, it will display and show on the right box here. Okay, we can also add more movies. Okay, let's just go on and test few other movies. So here it will show all the movies added to the list here, and here it shows the average of the IMDb rating. Here it shows the average of the user rating, and here the runtime of the movie, and users can also delete whichever movie they like. And also it is using a local storage which stores all the movies which have been added to the list. So if user even refreshes the website, it will still display the movies which have been added to the list. Okay, let's go and take a look at the front end codes. So this is the main code. This is the API key. Okay, so this is the main one here. Okay, as we are calling all the functions which is from different files. Okay, that will be ease of use and easier to manage. Okay, for example, here the search bar. So if we go to the search bar here, here it shows the functionality for the search. Okay, so for the use movie here, the use movie shows the codes to fetch the movies from the OMDB here, from the OMDB link here, and then it will fetch all the movies and insert it into the front end website. For this code here, it specifies which parameter we want to display in the front end. Okay, title here, poster, IMDb rating, release, actors, director, genre, runtime, and plot. Okay, and here we can see we are fetching the movie details. Okay, and this is the link, the OMDB link. Okay, as I said just now, we are using the local storage. Okay, which you can see here, local storage server can store information about the movie even if the website is refreshed or the browser is closed. Okay, so let's go ahead and I will show the back end of the project. Okay, let's just run it first and I will give an explanation to the code later. Localhost 5000. So it displays the login page first. And so let's say if user don't have an account, they will have to register. If they log in without inserting anything or registering an account, it will say user not found, please register first. So that is why they have to register first. And to register, they have to insert their username and also password. Okay, so before I register, let's go to the MongoDB, which I've created a users database here, and it stores all the information after registering. Okay, now let's register. Registration is successful. Click here to login. Okay, before login, let's go and see whether the data is inserted. Yes, the data have been inserted here. With the login, the username is Ranveer and the password is hashed using the bcrypt package to add security for the backend. Okay, so also if I register using the same username which I've created, Ranveer, so if I put any password, it will say error registering user because the username is already exists, right? So let's log in Ranveer. 3. Okay, so this is the pop-up, this is the page where after user have logged in successfully, it will say welcome along with my username. Okay, let's go to the home page. So this is all the functions implemented for the home page. Get all movies, get a movie, update movie, and delete all movies. Okay, so get all movies, it will display all the movie details which have been stored and add on into the MongoDB. Okay, as for now, there's only one. Okay, let's go back to the home page and get a movie. So let's just put a Superman. Okay, get movie, and it will show all the movie details. Okay, the title, the year, the genre, the plot, and also the poster. And it will indicate here saying the record is saved. Go back to homepage, check it here. Yep, the Superman movie details have been stored. Okay, let's just double confirm here at the MongoDB, which I've created under 6003 CEM. So you can see here, the Superman movie have been stored into the MongoDB atlas. Okay. So we can also update the movie. So as just now we have created Superman and add on Superman to the MongoDB. Let's put the Superman as a title and update the genre. Genre, let's put comedy, laughing clowns. Okay. Update movie. It will pop up a page saying that title Superman, the genre, comedy, and the plot, which have been updated. Okay, we can also update another movie or go back to the home page. Okay, let's go back to the home page and check. Get all movies, Superman have updated the genre and plot. Okay, let's check at the MongoDB. Yep, the Superman data have been updated as for the genre and plot. Okay, let's delete the movie. Just now we have added on the Superman. Let's delete the Superman now. Superman deleted. Let's check at the get all movies. Yep, Superman have been deleted. Let's refresh and check at the MongoDB. At the movie record here, there's no longer Superman. Okay, let's add on another few other movies. Okay, Superman. Okay, let's try another one. Batman. Okay, let's try another one. Or okay, so we have add on there's 4 records of movie right now. Okay, if we click on the delete all movies, it will delete all the record of movie which have been inserted into the database. So you can see here the get all movies is empty because we have already deleted all the movies. If we refresh and check it here, it have been deleted, and then user can log out. Okay, this is the connection to the database for the movie of the backend. Okay, this is the parameters, the title, year, genre, and plot, and this is the URL of the MongoDB connection. Okay, this is the express file where it implements the CSS styles. Okay, and this is the MongoDB connection for the user. Okay, this is the login HTML page, the login function, and also a validation. Few validation added. This is the register HTML, the registry function, and also a bcrypt package have been added on here to generate a salt to use for hashing to add on security into the backend. This is the HTML layer for content, the home page. This is the get all movies, the get all movie function along with the parameters, the update a movie functionalities, delete a movie, and also delete all movies. Okay, all these codes have implemented a function for every section. Okay, so and also here app listen 5000, it indicates what the port number you want the web to listen on. Okay, right, that's all from me. Thank you very much.